Let us now investigate the left and right cosets of the different subgroups and identify its normal subgroups. A coset is formed by multiplying a fixed group element with all elements of a subgroup. So here, we need to identify the left and right cosets of each subgroups. A left coset is formed by multiplying a group element on the left side of a subgroup. A right coset is similar, but multiplication is on the right. If these two are always equal, the subgroup is called normal. So let's find the left cosets of our first subgroup. So if we multiply the group elements in the left side of the set N, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, we'll get this set of left cosets. So it goes the same way when finding the right cosets of the subgroup, where all group elements is multiplied at the right side of the subgroup. So we'll get this set of right cosets. For our M sub 2, so we multiply the group elements in the left side of N, B, D, F, we'll get this set of left cosets. And it goes the same way when finding the right cosets of the subgroup, where all the group elements is multiplied at the right side of the subgroup. So we'll get this set of right cosets. So for our M sub 3, M sub 4, M sub 5, M sub 6, M sub 7, M sub 8, M sub 9, M sub 10, and M sub 11, if we multiply the group elements in the left and right side of each subgroup, we'll get this set of left and right cosets. As we analyze the cosets, the normal subgroups we have are M sub 1, M sub 2, and M sub 3, each of which satisfies the condition G and G prime is equal to N, for all G is an element of G, where N is the subgroup. To find the coset groups isomorphic to modulo N, we begin by defining the normal subgroups of the group G. A quotient group G over N is formed by taking a set of left or right cosets of a normal subgroup N in G. The order of the resulting quotient group is determined by the index G to N is equal to the cardinality of G over the cardinality of N, and its structure depends on how these cosets interact under the group operation. If the quotient group G over N is cyclic and has order N, then it is isomorphic to the cyclic group modulo N. In this investigation, we consider the normal subgroups M sub 1, M sub 2, and M sub 3 and analyze their respective coset structures to determine which ones yield quotient groups isomorphic to modulo 2, modulo 4, and modulo 8. So first is we have our M sub 1. Okay, so for our M sub 1, we have the elements N, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. And the cardinality of our group is 16. And the cardinality of our M sub 1 is 8. So 16 over 8 is equal to 2. So that is our cosets. Now, let's label n as 0 and h as 1. So, is this subgroup isomorphic to modulo 2? Since the operation table of G over M sub 1 is identical to the table of modulo 2, we can conclude that this subgroup is isomorphic to modulo 2. Next is we have our M sub 2, which consists the elements N, B, D, F. So the cardinality of our subgroup is 4 and the cardinality of our group is 16. So 16 over 4 is equal to 4 cosets. So we label B as 0, C as 1, O as 3, and P as 2. So is this subgroup isomorphic to modulo 4? The coset multiplication table of G over M sub 2 is identical to the operation table of modulo 4. This confirms that the quotient group is cyclic of order 4 and follows the same structure as the integers modulo 4. Therefore, we can conclude that M sub 2 is isomorphic to modulo 4. Lastly, we have our M sub 3, which consists the elements N and D. So, the cardinality of RG is 16 and the cardinality of our M sub 3 is 2. So, 16 over 2 is equal to 8 cosets. So, we label N as 0, A as 1, B as 3, C as 2, H as 4, I as 5, J as 7, and K as 6. So, is this subgroup isomorphic to modulo 8? The coset multiplication table for G over M sub 3 is identical to the operation table of modulo 8, the integers modulo 8 under addition. This confirms that the quotient group is cyclic order of 8. Therefore, we can conclude that M sub 3 is isomorphic to modulo 8.